All right. Yo, this is Nova Trifecta. I am Jimmy Fedora, aka Alias, aka Juicy J.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This Rashad.
What's up, everybody? This is Kendall.
All right, and this is this episode 3003. How you guys week went? What you do? What you been up to lately?
Just the regular grown folks BS, getting up, having to go to work every day. I'm trying to get back in shape, man. I've been going up there to the basketball court, doing a little running. I feel like a boxer. I feel like, you know what I feel like, man? I feel like I feel like Rocky 3. I feel like Rocky 3 getting back to the foundation of how everything went. That's how I grew up playing basketball by myself. My brother and my sister was off at college. So I grew up going in the backyard shooting by myself. So now I'm doing that again, going up there trying to get in shape, because I know that's the only way I'm going to do some cardio. I hate running. I hate going to the park and walking. So going up to the park, just doing full court layup drills and stuff like that is getting me in shape, because I'm hitting about 20 laps a day. So I'm starting to get back in some shape.
That's what's up. That's what's up. My week has been eventful, to say the least. All my children have started back to school. We done a couple days of traditional school, and we've had 3 days of virtual learning. And, man, that virtual learning is something serious. For any of you parents out there, man, I'm praying so hard for y'all, because this stuff, they don't make it simple. And, and if I wanted to have been a teacher, I think I would have tried to went to college and got a teaching degree. I mean,
young thug.
Kendall's flunking. Kendall gonna get his kids an LD.
I mean, I don't know what to tell them when they ask me some of this stuff. Like, I mean, it's been so long. It's just been eventful, man. The kids starting back. I've got one in kindergarten. I've got one in the 6th grade. I've got one in 8th grade. I've got one in the in the 10th grade. So with 4 kids and yeah.
That boy Kendall got some kids.
I do, man. It's been an eventful week, to say the least. I've got, our community, we have 3 different schools. So we have an elementary, a middle, and a high school, and I've got 4 kids, and all of them's in different. It just getting back in the routine of picking them up and dropping them off and practices. Man, it's and then trying to hold down the full-time job and everything. Man, it's been an eventful week, to say the least, man. But I'm praying for all you parents out there that are having to the struggles of virtual learning are real.
Most definitely. Well, my week was eventful as well. We recently laid my sister to rest. So
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Nene. So we all been around each other, a lot of family, a lot of reflection, a lot of love, a lot of togetherness, grieving, and just, coming to terms with a lot of things, and just, celebrating the life, of my sister, and making sure that we gave her a good homegoing celebration, even though that's tough to deal with, that's just something that we had to do. So that's what my week been, a lot of love, loss, but, peace at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's a lot of prayers coming y'all way, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nothing but love and prayers for y'all.
Rest in peace, Nene.
Rest in peace. All right. The first topic we're going to get into, a Disney, supposed to have been a blockbuster, but it was released on Disney Plus due to the COVID. Mulan. Shad, how was Mulan? Give us your take. Give us your spiel. Give us your deep dive, because I already seen a glimpse of it on Facebook. So give the people a nice review.
Nah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I hadn't been a big fan. I'm a big Disney fan. We all grew up on Disney. I'm 34. Kendall's 34. Juicy 31.
Hey.
So we all grew up in that new Disney era that was coming up in the 90s and everything. So I'm a big Disney fan. The Lion King still is my favorite movie of all time at 34 years old. it's still my favorite movie. So I'm a big Disney fan, all of the animated movies. So I used to love Mulan as a kid. But strangely enough, this era, when they've been making all the live action remakes, I haven't really loved the live action remakes because I don't like when they do a remake and it's a carbon copy of the originals. I'm like, if I just want to see the original, I'll watch the original. So I hadn't been a real big fan of the live action remakes. But Mulan to me is the best Disney Channel live action remake.
Well, what made it so special?
Because it wasn't a carbon copy. That to me, that's what made it so great. Is that it's not a copy of the original. It doesn't go scene for scene, word for word, song for song. It does. I think if you're gonna make a remake, this is how you do it. Make it realistic. Make it a realistic, reimagined version of the original animated classic. That's what I think is dope. That's why I think it was so dope and what set it apart. It's just, it's not a copycat.
What about the chick that played Mulan? The characters, you know.
Oh, she was great.
She was.
She was great. I thought she had a couple of scenes where she really had to carry it emotionally. And she done that. I actually think that this one is more emotional than the first one. This one has some emotionally gripping scenes. I thought she done a great job carrying the movie, to be honest with you, because she really had to carry it. It's got some big names in it now. It's got some people that you're gonna be shocked to see. You got a Jet Li appearance and things like you got a Donnie Yen appearance. Okay. So I mean, you got some legendary actors that's gonna pop up in this movie that is gonna kind of shock out. Whoa, they look a little different. They in here, but she carried the movie on her emotion. And she was magnificent with all her martial arts and everything.
Was it singing pieces in there?
It wasn't Disney. This is why I think it was so great, because it wasn't the singing pieces that were in the original movie. What they did is they would put the theme music in the scenes where it was appropriate. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like that's what they did, and that's what made it so great to me. I'm
asking you, did they sing? Period.
No, they didn't sing at all.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't nothing sweet. It wasn't nothing sweet in this movie. It's a war movie.
Oh, okay.
No. Hey, do you think it took away coming out on a streaming service? Do you think it took away from the greatness of it coming out straight to Disney, you know, the streaming service, instead of being released in theaters?
I mean, personally, at this point in my life, and at being 34 years old, going to the movies is one of my favorite things to do. Right. So I would have much rather went to the movies and watched it in IMAX. Yeah. I would have much rather done that. But honestly, when you think about it, it's probably saving. Like, think about a family man such as yourself.
Oh, we're easily dropping $200 easily.
Yeah. You got 15 kids at the house with you right now. So when you go to the movies,
where they don't like sharing sodas and candy no more.
Yeah.
And the older ones wants to bring a date and everything. It's like, oh my God. Like,
yeah. So when you go to the
movies, I'm not joking. It easily cost us almost $200 to get 6 tickets, some popcorn, some candy, and a drink, and I mean, it's easily almost $200 for all of us.
And that's just to watch it one time. Right. You got to think about with the Disney Plus thing that's going on, you paying $30 one time for the whole family to see it, and you can watch it as many times as you want to.
So is it like
how you leave out of a movie theater liking a movie and you just thinking about it over and over, but you can't watch it again unless you pay to watch it? Well, you can actually watch it as many times as you want to.
Is it a period that it stays up for the $30? Like once you buy it, it's on?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to lie. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that you can watch it over and over and over again for however long that it is. I'm sure you got a lot of times that you can watch it. I'm not sure if there's a limit on that or not, though.
I would pay. They need to think about making that an option, you know. Maybe a month into a wide release. You know what I mean?
I just don't want it to take the place of the theaters.
Well, I'm not saying take the place. So if you release it, if you have a major release date, keep that date. but like a month down the line, make it available on a streaming service that you could pay $30 and you can get it at your house. That way, you done already made your money in the first month. The people who gonna go to the movies, they gonna go in that first month, or the people who just love the experience of the movie will still go. But I mean, I get what you're saying. You don't want to take.
But look out! I love the movie going experience so much. I don't want this to work, but I'm sure it will. It's Disney. It's Mulan. Family people saving a whole lot of money doing it this way.
Exactly.
But I'm scared that if it catches on, it's gonna be the new norm, and we're gonna lose cinema. You know what I mean? I love going to the movies. I love the movie going experience. Going to see a Disney or a Marvel movie in this era is an event. Like, it's an event. It feels like a theme park.
Right.
But
it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to go to movie theaters, and I do like it. But like you said, a family of my size, like, and my youngest daughter, she does good through some of them. But if it don't really capture her, she's ready to, look around, grab a tablet, wanting to look at YouTube or something like that. And it makes it hard to I don't like to disturb other people. I mean, my family's already taken up a whole row. So it's like, when they start rustling around, it's, but I mean, so.
A whole row. To be honest, I'm not sure, back to Mulan, I'm not sure if little kids would really enjoy it that much, because it is a serious movie. It's like the adult version of Mulan.
Okay.
I think it's the more accurate portrayal of the Mulan, of the legend, than the animated version was. I mean, that's my take from it anyway. But it's a pretty serious movie. It's got some heavy moments. It's got some emotion in it. Maybe kids will enjoy it, but I think it's more of an adult version.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Okay. All right. All right. What would you give this movie out of 5 stars? The current
out of 5?
I mean, not I say current climate. The Nova Trifecta scale. We're gonna do 5 stars. What would you give Mulan out of 5 stars?
It's hard not to be prisoner of the moment, because I did just watch it a couple of hours ago. I don't want to be labeled a prisoner.
Give the initial feeling. You know when some shit classic. You know when it's not. Halfway through Bohemian Rhapsody, I knew it was a classic movie.
That's right. You called it. You called that one. Right now, I'm going to give it a 4.
That's great.
That's a 4 out of 5.
That's a great movie.
A 4 out of 5. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 right now. To be honest, when I go back and rewatch it, I might give it higher. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was real good.
Okay. Well, y'all check out Mulan, Disney Plus. Me and Kendall still got to watch it. We hadn't got around to watch it, but we will. But yeah, any final remarks on Mulan before we move on? Mulan?
Nah, go check it out, man.
Cool. All right. Well, we finna get to it. Thursday, opening season for the NFL. I didn't think we was going to get here. I didn't know if it was going to happen, but it is. Fellas, it is here. What you guys think this season is going to look like with the COVID? What you think they're going to do to kind of like, have the games and everything? How it's going to look?
Kendall, what you got?
Personally, I've already watched some college football the past couple weekends, and I have been so just fired up for it that it has not really affected me. Now, it is kind of weird, but it has not, it's not taken away, to me, it's not taken away from watching football at all. So these are the best of the best. These are professionals, and they want to play just as much as we want them to play. So I'm excited. I think the only thing is them not having training camp. There have been some guys that have been cut from rosters that don't be surprised to see some guys find their way back onto a team and show out that's been cut by some of these teams. That's my only thing is I think it's going to be a slow start. I don't think it's going to be as crisp and everything as, as we normally see. But then again, they are professionals. So,
they've been
I'm just excited for it, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah, they've been having practice. So I think on that end, that aspect, they'll be all right, because you got to think usually when they're doing training camp and having preseason games, those preseason games are for the guys who's trying to make the team that probably won't even play when it's week 1. So really we just getting, the week 1 person. They might play a series or 2, but that's it. So I believe maybe by game 2 or 3, you'll kind of see people coming into shape, coming into form, and just, being the best version of themselves. Not quite mid-season form, but formidable enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they haven't been out there like they normally have been out there is what I'm saying. Everybody's still trying to get their gameplay, body back into shape and everything. They haven't. I mean, a lot of them live in cities where it's been complete shutdown. Right. And if they hadn't had a home gym, I mean, even if you're working out in a home gym in your backyard 4 or 5 days a week, there's nothing like another grown man whose livelihood depends on stopping you,
right?
Yeah,
coming after you. So
honestly, I'll be completely honest. I'm in basketball mode right now. I have not gotten into football mode yet. I didn't watch any football Saturday. I went and watched a high school football game about 2 weeks ago, but I hadn't been able to get myself in football mode yet. I'm gonna have to watch that first NFL game, week 1, and
Thursday.
then I'll be back. Yeah,
Kansas City versus Houston.
Yeah, I'll be back once I see Patty Mahomes throw like 18 touchdowns in his first game. Then I'll be ready to get back into football mode. But see, it's this is COVID year, so it's kind of weird, man, because you got the NBA playoffs and the start of the NFL season going on at the same time.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different because the NBA is my all-time favorite, but the NFL is a close second, and I got to try to be in NBA playoff and NFL mode at the same exact time, and it's just different. So right now I'm in NFL mode, but I'll get in football mode come Thursday night.
Cool. Well, this is the podcast. We're going to be talking straight football for the rest of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to go, through a couple divisions. We're going to do the NFC first. Then we'll travel over to the AFC. We'll just talk about the divisions and who we think win the division. But the first division we're going to talk about is the NFC West. That's the 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Kendall, what you think about this division? Who come out on top? Some of the players to watch.
Seattle Seahawks and watch Russell Wilson. Plain and simple, man. He is so underrated. Pete Carroll, to me, is such a great coach. I know the Rams are flashy. LA Rams, they're flashy. They've got, the flashiness of them. They got the best defensive guy in the league right now in Aaron Donald. But I'm excited to see Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to make another good run at them. Good run at it, and that's who I got coming out on top in this division. I think DK Metcalf takes a big step forward with his chemistry with Russell Wilson.
You seen it in the playoffs. He was coming to life like what he could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he could be a special guy. Winning this division, I got Seattle as well. But I think this is the toughest division in football. You got the 49ers. They got Jimmy G. Jimmy G one throw away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's Tom. Yeah. Tom would have, made that throw, but that's neither here nor there. But, the Rams, they're going to be tough, but I think they finished last in this division. The Arizona Cardinals is going to be the surprise team. Kyler Murray, he got D-Hop, Kenyon Drake. Man, they can do some things.
They had a good defensive draft too. They got some good players on defense too.
Exactly. They can make some noise over there and make it interesting. I think that's the toughest division in football. Shaw, who you got winning that thing over there?
I'm going with a heart pick, which is the same pick as everybody else. I'm going with Seattle. I want Russell Wilson to get back to another Super Bowl. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson, it's a possibility he may be the most underrated quarterback of the decade.
Absolutely.
He always seems to be left out of that top-tier conversation. But to be honest with you, he's in the MVP race every year.
Let me ask you this. If you give – and me and Cal was talking about this yesterday. If you give Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes weapons, do you think he could post them same numbers Pat Mahomes?
No, I don't think nobody can post the same numbers Patty Mahomes posts. I know that now Andy Reid is an offensive guru and everything, so I know that, Andy Reid helps out a lot. But Patty Mahomes, Patty Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are the two most talented quarterbacks that I've seen.
Yeah.
That I've seen. Now, I think Peyton Manning is the best, and I think it's debatable between him and Tom. We always going back and forth about them. But the most talented quarterback that I've seen is Patty Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if anybody can put up those numbers.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes' arm talent is second to none. Second to none. But we also forget Russell Wilson should have 2 Super Bowls.
He should
have 2 Super Bowl wins.
He's a bad call away.
Beast mode.
He's a bad call away from having 2 Super Bowls.
Exactly. I mean that's what's crazy to me is he was a yard away from having 2 Super Bowls. Turn around and hand it to
Beast mode.
turn it.
You know what else is crazy? Pete Carroll is probably 2 or 3 plays away from maybe being the greatest coach of all time, because he could have 2 national championships and 2 Super Bowls if it wasn't for a play. If it wasn't for a play that went here or there. Yeah. He could have 2 national championships and 2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
Couple of plays. That's what a lot of people don't understand about a lot of these sports discussions, is that it's a couple of people that's a couple of plays away from being legendary, all-time great. And Pete Carroll is there. But again, about the division, we'll see about Kyler Murray. It's year 2. We know how quarterbacks struggle in year 2. I want to see what happens. I'm interested.
He got him a weapon out there. He got him a nuclear weapon out there.
He got Larry Fitzgerald, old dependable, and then D Hop.
If I'm mistaken, old Larry was over 1,000 yards last year again, wasn't he?
Yes,
Larry a legend.
Larry legend.
Larry legend. Larry a legend. Larry ain't dropped a pass since he was in high school.
Hey, a true stat, he's got more tackles in the NFL than he does drop passes.
That's insane.
That's unbelievable.
That is nuts.
Best pair of hands ever.
Yep.
All right, well, I guess it's a consensus. All of us got Seattle in that division. Yeah, I got Seattle. So, all of us got a Seattle. All right, we're going to move on to the NFC North. The Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, and my beloved Detroit Lions. Kendall, I'm going to start with you here again. Who you got, some of the players to watch, who you got winning this division, how you got it playing out?
Players to watch, Dalvin Cook. I think he's –
Do you think he can stay healthy?
I think he's going to stay healthy. I think he's going to have a good year. Also, on the Vikings, I like that Justin Jefferson pick, that wide receiver.
From LSU.
From LSU, yes. I think he's gonna shine. I really want to see what Aaron Rodgers does this year, just because of how that draft went. They didn't get him no help.
When you got a QB like Aaron Rodgers, why would you draft a QB in the first round when he got 45 prime years left? Go get him somebody that can make a play, or trade that pick and get him somebody already in the league that can make a play.
Which begs the question to me. Do you think Aaron Rodgers ever gets to another Super Bowl? And if he doesn't get to another Super Bowl, where does that leave him in the upper echelon of the top tier all-time quarterbacks? We know he got the talent, but we know he'll have the numbers. He'll have some numbers. But if he can't ever reach a Super – it's been a long time since he's been in a Super Bowl.
Was it 2009?
I mean,
or
I think it was 2011, wasn't
2011.
it?
Okay, 2011 then.
I think it was 2011. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think
it's been a long time since he was successful in the league.
Right.
He was successful last year. They made it to the NFC Championship game.
They did.
Is that good enough
they got smoked by the 49ers, but
is that good enough when you're in his ilk?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't – it's such a – man, there's so much – I don't know. It's
football, though.
It is football.
It's not like basketball when you can have the best guy and get to the finals every year like in the NBA. It's football. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of stuff got to work.
I mean, and I've always said year after year, it's like you put Peyton Manning where Tom Brady was and you put Tom where Peyton was, we probably have the same results, just flip-flop. Peyton probably has what Tom has.
Tom, he does.
That's
if
my
not
opinion.
More. If not more.
Hey.
If not more.
We can't live in ifs and what could've.
You can't. You're
more.
right about that, but I mean, I have always said that, like, man, like, Tom has been blessed to be on the Patriots team, no doubt. He has.
We'll find out this year how blessed he was.
He's got a squad.
We'll finally get to see.
Well, I'm a big Tom Brady fan, but Tom, he got a cop out because if he play good, he's the greatest all time. If he play bad, well, Tom
He's 55 years old.
55 years old. He on his way out.
Yeah.
So he kind of got a built-in excuse already. You have some people who go come at his head, but in the long, the grand scheme of things.
But you know what? He deserves that cop out. He earned it.
Yeah.
He earned that cop out. He shouldn't get killed for being 43 and having a bad season. He shouldn't get killed for that. He's earned. If anybody's earned a cop out year, it's Tom Brady.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll give it, and I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Me and you have gone back and forth like Batman and Joker for years about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Right.
But even I say that Tom Brady has earned the right to have a cop out year.
Yeah,
so,
we'll get to Tom.
But I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see. They're claiming Mitch Trubisky is going to be the starter for Chicago.
Yeah.
After they got Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky is horrible. That was he got picked before, but he got picked before Deshaun Watson and Patty Mahomes. That is nuts.
Yeah.
I just the Bears. I don't see them doing anything.
Kimber called him horrible.
He is, man. He is. He is bad. He really is. I think it's a two-team race in that division.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to the Lions. I see they picked up Adrian Peterson.
Juicy got offended.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm sorry, Juicy. I just don't. It's not working for you.
Let me tell you how it works in when it comes to the Lions.
The Lions don't make the playoffs again.
We don't make the playoffs, and we horrible one year. But then we had that year in between that where we'll give you a 10-6 or something like that, and we'll slip on through the cracks. This is that year. We got
this is the almost good year.
Yes, that.
Okay.
Well, we finished second in the division.
Okay. All right.
We got the QB who is the most underrated QB in the league.
Absolutely.
More than Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, at least Russell Wilson.
Matthew Stafford more underrated than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, well, Russell Wilson at least in the MVP conversation. Like, he gets MVP votes. So, like, in some rooms, he's recognized. Matthew Stafford is a forgotten QB because I think
Matthew Stafford is extremely talented. I always did. I don't know if he's what you want him to be. I don't know.
But he in Detroit, man. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, man.
Here's my pick for this division. I got Minnesota winning it. I got Green Bay coming in second, and then I'll give it to you. Detroit's going to get third. Then the Bears are going to be in last place. That's who I got.
I'm going with Green Bay.
I like Mike Zimmer. I'm not a huge Kirk Cousins fan, but Mike Zimmer, I like him as a head coach. He normally has a good defense that he puts on the field. They lost Everson Griffin to, Dallas picked him up, but they got that defensive end from the Jaguars that are tanking like crazy to get Trevor Lawrence, obviously. So I think Minnesota wins the division. I'm going with Minnesota to win that division.
But
I'm going with Green Bay. I'm always picking the best quarterback. In football, most of the time I'm gonna pick the best quarterback. So I'm going with Green Bay.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going with Green Bay to win the division. Detroit to come in second. Chicago to come in third.
Homer.
And Minnesota to finish fourth. I think losing the guy that went to Buffalo, the receiver, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
I think they gonna miss him more than what they think. and Adam Thielen gonna see some bracket coverage. So
They
I think
they know they're gonna miss Stephon Diggs. They know that. They know
He
they
was
gonna
a
miss Stephon Diggs.
distraction. It was not because of his play on the field. It was because of off the field issues with him. It was that was strictly off the field issues, because I will take Stephon Diggs any day of the week over that rookie wide receiver, and pairing him and Thielen. Thielen was able to do some great stuff when everybody was keying on Stephon Diggs. That was strictly just off the field issues.
Exactly. So, but yeah, so you got me and you got Green Bay winning the division. Kendall got the Minnesota Vikings winning the division. So, that remains to be seen. We'll see. The next division is probably the sexiest division in football, the NFC South. All power down there, man. Tomlin went down there. You got a lot of MVPs down there. MVP type quarterbacks. You got the Saints, you got the Falcons, you got the Bucks, and you got the Panthers. Shad, I'm gonna start with you first on this one. Who you got winning this division? Players to watch out. How you think it's gonna pan out?
I'm taking the Saints.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Can't guard Mike.
I think that Drew Brees want to go out like Jerome Bettis and some of these other legendary NFL players that got a Super Bowl and ran off into the sunset. I think, even though I said Russell Wilson is the most underrated, I gotta put, for some reason, Drew Brees has always felt unappreciated. He's always felt, I don't know if he has been, but I've always felt that he was kind of unappreciated, because it always seemed like he was in Tom and Peyton's shadow. It always kind of felt like that to me.
But he put up the numbers too.
Oh, he put up the numbers now.
So I mean,
he put up the numbers.
He beat Peyton Manning one year too. Did he not beat Peyton Manning?
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah. He went toe to toe with him.
And but I don't think anybody has ever said Drew Brees was better than Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. I've never heard anybody say that.
If Drew Brees would have went to the Miami Dolphins when Nick Saban was there and wanted him, Nick Saban might not have ever been at Alabama. I mean, everybody passed on this cat.
Yeah. The pros are different monster. We can't just assume that Nick would have been the shit in the NFL. Sometimes it just don't work out like that. But I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I'm going with New Orleans. You think him and can't guard Michael Thomas that'll get him over the hump?
I do. I think it'll get them over the hump. I mean, they was robbed 2 years ago. So
do you think can't guard Mike a top 5 NFL receiver?
He probably been top 5 for years, and we just hadn't given it to him.
Okay.
Because it's something about Mike that Mike don't have. Mike just don't have the mass appeal. But the older I get, the more I kind of feel differently about receivers. Receivers don't really win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They don't. Receivers don't really win Super Bowls. I don't know. I'm not going to say they're not important, because they are. They stretch the field and everything like that. So I'm not going to say they're not important. But I think that Drew Brees always done a great job of kind of spreading the ball out and everything like that too. So I don't know. I want to see what Tom. It's hard to bet against Tom. Got Gronk down there now, so you got a winning pedigree. But you don't got
no love for Atlanta. No love for
Atlanta kind of like the Clippers when Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and all them boys was down there.
All the talent in the world.
It's like they always got talent. Every year you think they gonna do something and they just end up not doing something. I can't put no faith in Atlanta until they show us something.
Right.
I can't put no faith in them till they show us something. They'll have a fantastic year like they did back in 2015, and then they barely been topic of discussion the last 5 years. I don't know about Atlanta.
Who you got, Kendall?
Man, that is an interesting division. You've got Teddy Two Gloves over there.
Teddy Two Gloves.
We forget about old Teddy Two Gloves. He was a good quarterback before that knee went out on him. He went down there, sat behind Drew Brees, and now you know, that's a first year head coach in Matt Rule. All his draft picks went to the defense. Crazy. They're rebuilding. Teddy Two Gloves, I hope he does good. I like him. I like Teddy Bridgewater. Good guy.
Yeah.
Atlanta, like Shad said, I mean, they got their soul snatched away when they were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. And
they haven't been the same since.
They have not been. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened to Dan Quinn, Matt Ryan. Tom and Bill ended them when they come back from a 28-3. You not even heard about them.
Yeah.
They're sexy. They've got weapons all over the field. They've got, they've been there before, but they kind of screwed it up. And then you got the two. I love Bruce Arians. I love what he's got going on down there in Tampa Bay. He brings in Tom Brady. They go and get Gronk. He already had Chris Godwin. He's got Mike Evans. Now they just picked up Leonard Fournette, who people don't need to sleep on. And they got Shady. They got LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
They got a defense.
They got a squad.
They've got a squad. I'm going with them. That's my pick. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I know it's a sexy
I probably would have
pick.
picked them if Tom wasn't 93 years old. I probably would have picked him. I just don't know what 93-year-old Tom without Bill Belichick gonna do. I mean, I get it. He's the GOAT more than likely. I argue back and forth between me and Juicy about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, but you definitely can't argue with Tom Brady. Anybody calling Tom Brady the greatest football player to ever play. So it's hard to what Rudy Tomjanovich said. Never bet against the heart of a champion. And he's got it. If anybody's got it, Tom Brady may be the most clutch player in any sport ever.
Any sport. Any sport. Ever.
So you can't bet against a player like that. I joke about him being 93, but Tom probably going to come out and go nuts all year long.
Agreed.
That's who I'm betting on. I love Tom. I think he's going to do good. I like Bruce Arians. I like Bruce Arians as a coach. He's a good coach. He's been to the Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. He took Arizona and Kurt Warner to the Super Bowl. He's been there, I think, on the sideline with the Colts when they were there. He's been in the room with some elite quarterbacks in his time with Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner. He's been in the room with some big-time quarterbacks. So Tom went to a good place. So I'm betting on Tom in Tampa to make a run. I just think that Drew Brees, I love Drew Brees. I love the Saints. Sean Payton, they're awesome. They added Emmanuel Sanders. Mike Thomas I think he is a top 5.
I changed my pick.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going with Tampa Bay. I can't bet against Tom.
Murphy. I think Drew Brees missed his chance to win a Super Bowl on that horrific pass interference call against the Rams that year.
Well, we could take it back. I think he missed his chance with the Stephon Diggs catch.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, back-to-back years of getting just absolutely screwed over.
You don't keep getting chances like that in the NFL.
Them two huge chances that he really could have won a Super Bowl. So I think
I can't bet against Tom. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I'm changing my pick. I can't go against Tom, man.
I got Tampa Bay winning this division. I just think they got too much firepower. Last year, they talked about Tom regressed a little bit. I just think his receivers went good. You know what I mean?
Terrible receiving core.
They was last in separation. You can only do
so much. No Gronk either.
That's just like being a point guard and dishing it off like LeBron do, and they clank the shot like Danny Green been doing or KCP.
Danny Green ain't made a shot since the year of the rat.
And I can't do nothing for it. But now he in a good situation with the real can't guard Mike Evans. He got Godwin. He got Gronk. O.J. Howard might have a breakout year. He got Leonard Fournette. Yeah. He got the Shady McCoy. We forgetting about Ronald Jones. He had a decent year last year. And the defense is solid. So I think you put him in that environment. It's what people don't realize. You can't double nobody on that. So we getting a healthy Gronk. You can't double him because if you double him, leave wide open. You leave Mike Evans open. You leave Chris Godwin open. I just think that offense is going to be too much for people to overcome. It's going to be shootouts. Believe that.
Yeah.
With the Saints, I got them finishing second in the division. Just because can't guard Mike, can't nobody do nothing with that boy. If Drew Brees stay healthy,
Mike, unbelievable.
Yeah, just the way Sean Payton got that offense constructed, I think, in the way he used Taysom Hill and then Alvin Kamara, you know what I mean? I think he take another step this year. That offense just deadly. So many things they can do with Alvin Kamara. Just like Reggie. They used to put Reggie in situations where put him in mismatches where they'll get him out, motion him out, get a linebacker on him. They can't do nothing with him. He gone. He can't do nothing with him. So I think that offense and the defense is decent. Decent enough to do something. So yeah, the Saints, they definitely finished second in that division.
We all trash for taking safe picks, but whatever.
I picked Chicago to finish third. I mean, it's third, and they know. But anyways,
that's still safe. That's third. That ain't first. Who cares who finished third? It's still safe. We done picked safe on
we just keeping it real. These last two, who gives a fuck? I mean, like the Atlanta, who's just been flaming out ever since they, went down 28-3, and then the Carolina. I don't like how they did Cam. I love Christian McCaffrey. Remember, I told
CMC.
Sean, I told both of y'all when he was in college.
Juicy called at least one legendary call a year.
Yeah. He was talking about him when he was still at Stanford.
Yeah.
Juicy talked about. Yeah, he talked about CMC at Stanford.
As cold as he is, you know what I mean? I don't understand why they didn't keep Cam and get another weapon, but I just don't think Teddy Two Gloves, which that name is insane. I don't think Teddy Two Gloves.
It sounds like a comic book character.
I don't think he's top
Teddy Two Gloves
25 quarterback. I just don't. I think he a solid ass backup quarterback. I can sit here and name 20 quarterbacks better than Teddy Bridgewater. And this is a quarterback-driven league. He gonna have to in that division. He gonna have to outgun Tom. He gonna have to outgun as bad as Atlanta being. Matt Ryan still Matt Ryan. He got to outgun Matt Ryan, and he got to outgun Drew Brees. I just don't think he can do that at the end of that day. So I got Tom.
I'd like to see Teddy do good too, but I just don't know if he's ready right now.
Yeah, exactly. That remains to be seen. So yeah, we all picked Tampa Bay. You switched your pick. You talking about we picked safe picks? You switched your pick.
You right. I'm trash too.
The next one is the final division that we're gonna go over in the NFC is the NFC East, and they got the most popular team probably in sports next to
my favorite team.
Them Cowboys.
Y'all damn Cowboy fans. I can't stand it. But it's the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, and it's not the Redskins no more. It's the Washington football team. So we kind of got to catch ourselves saying Redskins.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Kendall. Who you got winning this division? How you got it playing out? The players to watch, give it to me. Give it to the people.
Oh, man.
Why even ask?
Well, but I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you.
Go ahead.
I got my Cowboys winning this division. We got Mike McCarthy. He's going to bring a little bit of grit, a little bit of fire, that Super Bowl winning mentality to us. He's going to do more than clap on the sidelines.
Clap.
We got rid of the clapper. We had a great draft. We got CeeDee Lamb, which that was hilarious because everybody knows if you watch that draft, Jerry picked him so the Eagles couldn't pick him because the Eagles needed a weapon. So Jerry went ahead and said, well, give me CeeDee Lamb. He puts 88 on him. That abolished all talks of Des Bryant coming back, which kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. Zeke, we got to feed him. They're going to feed him. They fed him a bunch of money. Now they're going to feed him the ball. Cooper.
I see what
Gallup.
you did there.
Yeah. My one thing with them is the things that's going on with Dak, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm a Dak fan. I've been defending Dak for a long time. I love Dak Prescott. I think he's a great quarterback. I'm more excited about our defensive side of the ball. We've added some great pieces on that defensive line. From what I'm hearing, Trayvon Diggs from right here in Alabama, he is showing out at that defensive back. They're saying he's doing a good job. I'm all about the Cowboys, and that might be being a homer, but I don't see the Eagles, which is the only team I think that gives us any problems, the competition. I don't see – I mean, they got a glass base for a quarterback.
Right.
Carson Wentz is arguably he's a good quarterback. I'm gonna take my feelings and push to the side. Carson Wentz is a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Good.
MVP caliber quarterback. But he cannot stay healthy. But they've done something to that this year. They have picked somebody that's got the heart. When Sean talks about the heart of a winner, they've got somebody that's behind him that's going to push him. That he's got a champion's heart in Jalen Hurts. We all three got to see firsthand, up close and personal, what Jalen could do. That was a great pick for them. I just don't think they have the weapons. They've got one of the best coaches in Doug Peterson. They do have that, but I don't think they have the weapons. And I don't think Wentz stays healthy yet again. And then the Washington football team. There I go again.
They ass.
Man. They don't even. I mean, Ron Rivera will get that straightened out because Ron Rivera
is trash,
but they are trash. And then you got the New York Giants. They've got a new head coach who's
Danny Dimes dropping dimes on them.
Danny Dimes. They got Saquon Barkley. I mean, his daggone quads are. I mean. But
Sean, who you got winning this division? I don't even know why the hell I asked y'all this question. I already know you.
Well, you already know I'm going with the Cowboys, but I have absolutely zero faith in that pick. I have zero faith.
Don't be like that, Sean. We got rid of him. We got rid of the problem.
We didn't have a problem for the last almost 30 years. It goes back way further than Coach Clapp. It go back way further than Coach Clapp. We'll see, though. I do think that we have a talented roster, but we always have a talented roster. Because we know that Jerry Jones will pay the money. Yeah. We know he's going to get talented guys now.
Yeah.
So we always have a talented roster. It is very, very difficult to keep faith in the Dallas Cowboys.
And while you talking about the talented roster, I want to take this time to tell you Cowboy fans, y'all undervalue Tony Romo. Tony Romo
I agree.
Absolutely.
They talk about Tony Romo bad. Like they talk about Tony like Tony wasn't a great quarterback. Tony was a great quarterback.
Tony was good. Tony was amazing.
The only thing that was with Tony would mess up one time a game at the worst possible time that he could mess up. Yeah. And that would be it. The rest of the game, Tony might have 425 yards, five touchdowns.
and I will say this. Mike McCarthy should not even have made that Super Bowl. If we're going to be honest, that was a catch that Dez Bryant hauled that ball in. That should have been down at the 2-yard line. Tony should have handed it off to Marco. I mean,
y'all ran him in the ground.
That Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, we ran DeMarco Murray into the ground.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray.
But I'm going with Dallas because that's a hard pick. But it's hard to have faith in the Cowboys, man. And I've been a Cowboys fan for a long ever since. I'm trying to remember the year the movie came out. The Little Giants, and ever since the Little Giants, I've been a Cowboy fan. Spike don't play with girls. I've been a Cowboy fan ever since the Little Giants. So I've been a Cowboys fan for a long time. So I dealt with a lot of disappointment.
Right. That boy Spike wasn't nothing to play with.
That boy Spike was carrying people down the field with him.
Refrigerators.
Spike daddy put his hand up on the wall, and Spike started doing pull-ups on his daddy forearm. Spike brought a refrigerator.
Follow-up story with Spike.
Spike brought a refrigerator off there. Like, Spike wasn't nothing to play with. I knew when I saw Spike carrying somebody down the field on his shirt tail, I've been a Cowboy fan ever since. And they had a black quarterback, so that was all I needed to see. So I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time. I've been a Cowboy fan. They had a black quarterback when it wasn't cool to have
when it wasn't cool to have a black quarterback.
It wasn't cool to have a black quarterback. So I've been a Cowboys fan.
Straight trailblazers.
Huh?
Yeah.
So they was trailblazing then.
Yeah, they was trailblazing. And I like that boy Kevin O'Shea. You know, Kevin O'Shea was the coach. So I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time. I'm going with the Cowboys, but it wouldn't shock me if it all falls apart week 4. I mean, yeah, Kendall said that he didn't think that the Dak Prescott stuff was going to be an issue. I 100% expect it to be a larger-than-life issue because it's the Cowboys. So we'll see.
The Cowboys, what I will say, you know, they one of the most talented teams in the NFL. If Mike McCarthy can,
but we've been that for 3 or 4 years now.
If he can find a way to manage these particular guys, their egos, they can do some things. But I don't know if he can do it. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, it's a lot of mouths to feed. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke, Michael Gallup, talented, which I think Dak gonna have an amazing year. Amazing year. Dak Prescott is another quarterback that I call, but that's neither here or there. But I say all that to say they're gonna finish second in the division to the Philadelphia Eagles. The reason I say that, I think Carson Wentz he was gonna win the MVP before he got hurt. But their problem is health. Alshon Jeffrey is always hurt. Deshaun Jackson been hurt since he's got but
quarterback always hurt.
And the QB1 always hurt. But they got enough pieces to put this together. I think this the year that he stay healthy, and they added that receiver from TCU. So you wiggle
Jalen Reagor
in the slot. Yeah, you wiggle him in there in the slot. I think they can do some things and get it together. A defense decent, and they won a division last year shorthanded. So you come back in here. You know, you got another year to get healthy. You got some guys coming in, some new guys. So I think you build off that confidence of you winning the division last year, and we was hurt. We healthy now. We could take them guys. So I think that they do that moving forward with Dallas being a wild. They'll still make the wild card, But
I'm not mad with that. I'm like Rashad. I'm speaking. It's hard for me to put anybody over my team, and we've been the most talented team for probably 4 or 5 years now, and can't put it together. I like last year, we couldn't even put. We needed 20 points to win that last game of the year against Philadelphia, and we couldn't even put it together with the pieces we had out there. At some point, I want to say, hey, it was coaching, and he just lost it. But at some point, those guys don't have no pride in themselves to win it. I'm like Rashad. It would not surprise me at all if the wheels fall off of the bus in week 5, week 6,
but it's always spiral. But to piggyback on what you said earlier, it's always a plus when you get a coach with some winning pedigree in there. And so we got a coach this year that's got winning pedigree. He knows what it looks like.
He won a Super Bowl.
Maybe he can manage all of it.
He had a deal.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl, and that was my whole thing is Jerry finally went and got somebody that he just didn't love and didn't kiss his butt. He went and found somebody that was a winner and proved to be a winner. And we'll see. This is going to be Mike McCarthy. We're going to see Mike McCarthy without arguably the best quarterback talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers. So, there's a lot to be seen, but I'm standing firm on the Cowboys winning that division.
Cool, and I ain't even got to mention the other 2 teams besides Saquon and Evan Ingram. They're the only 2 players I really want to see, between those 2 teams. Terry McLaurin, the receiver from the Redskins. The Washington football team is really, really good too. So I picked, Philly. Y'all picked the Cowboys.
Hey, speaking of the Washington football team, I know they've got a new coach too, Ron Rivera. Somebody I respect, somebody who's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah. He's talked a lot about cleaning up that culture. There's a lot of things going on up in Washington that I think we don't even know about that's kind of slowly leaking. But do you think he rolls with Dwayne Haskins? Because that was a very talented
he
guy.
asked too. He asked too. Just keeping in the buck. He asked. It's a toss up. He ain't got much to work with up there. So we ain't even got to talk about them. They got a lot of work to do, and they don't even deserve our discussion right now. Dan Snyder.
That ain't right.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, and moving to the AFC. The first division we're gonna cover is a tough ass division. The AFC North. You got the Baltimore Ravens, league MVP. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Hall of Fame, all-time great quarterback coming back for his last hurrah. You got a number one pick, Baker Mayfield, trying to bounce back after his sophomore slump. And then you got the new number one pick, Joe Burrow, who just had the greatest single college football season of all time by a quarterback to lead the Bengals. So what you guys think about how this division is going to play out? Because it's tough. This shit is tough right here.
Yeah. Kendall, what you got?
Man, if you look at it on paper, it should be the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
But somehow they don't put it together. I guess they're like the Cowboys. They haven't put it together.
Nah,
we've got a supposedly a brand new Ben Roethlisberger who has worked out this offseason, who Bruce Arians on an interview said that Ben's arm had been hurt for a couple years and he just wouldn't get it fixed. He finally gets it fixed. He's working out. Mike Tomlin, I love Mike Tomlin. He's a great coach. He's an awesome coach.
Like he'll beat your ass too.
Oh, absolutely. You better believe it.
But wait a minute.
Oh, I know where you're going. Don't do my boy like that.
Hold on, wait a minute. Is Mike as great as we want him to be?
Mike won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl.
We want hold on. We want Mike
I know
to be
what
great.
You're saying.
Is Mike as great as we want him to be? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have been underachieving for years, almost a decade.
A decade?
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
we think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl every year.
But you know what, Sean? You got to look at them years now. They had Le'Veon, they had Antonio Brown and Big Ben. But every single year something happened. One of them guys couldn't go. I think it was one. I think only one.
So, Shawty, you
saying
that Mike Tomlin, if he wasn't an African American coach, you think that he wouldn't be getting the love that he gets?
I don't know if it's got anything with him being African American. If there's one thing African American don't get you a lot of in this country is love. So I'm not.
We're seeing that, yeah. No.
So I'm not saying that.
No.
But I'm saying now. I might be saying that we all want him to be great because he's African American. I know personally, I want him to be great because he's African American.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to have a great African American coach in the NFL that wins Super Bowls. So, and I like Mike Tomlin. I like the way he conducts himself. I like the way he conducts himself in interviews. I like the way he runs his teams. But they do seem to underachieve. They're never as good as we think they're going to be.
He did get beat by Tim Tebow in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. That's hard.
Tebow, come on.
I think personally, I don't know. I like Mike. I don't know. I like Mike Tomlin.
I like Mike too.
I do. To go back, I'm going with I think the Baltimore Ravens, I think they do it again. They have got one of the most electrifying quarterbacks that we have seen probably since Mike Vick. I remember when
But
Mike
look what happened to him in the postseason.
I agree. But we're talking about who wins that division.
Yeah, and you're right.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you're right.
That division is a toss-up to me because it could go. Cleveland could finally get on track. Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger and them, they could get on track, and Baltimore could just do what Baltimore does. I don't think Joe Burrow this year is going to have the success in the NFL that he had last year. He caught lightning in a bottle. He had a magical season. I mean, Ed Orgeron and all them at LSU, they just captivated everything.
That boy,
I mean,
that boy Orgeron sound horrible. That boy needs subtitles when he talk.
I'm telling you. Now,
and not the regular subtitles, the ones that bounce across the screen when he talk. A visual of each word that he's saying, so you can focus.
Hey, he gets some guys fired up to play, man. He's a perfect coach for LSU, that's for sure.
He sounds like an alligator.
He does. He sounds like he would. He sounds like an alligator, and at the same time, he sounds like he would beat an alligator if he come up in his yard. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like he would go out back. Like I can see him like going out back to put some trash away, and he hears something rattling in the corner, and he shines a light on it, and it's an alligator, and he just chases it out of the yard like a possum.
I can see it. I can see him ripping the alligator's head off. I can see it. I'm gonna go with the first unsafe pick, and I'm gonna pick Cleveland. Just so I can look like a genius if it works. Hopefully Baker is over his sophomore slump. But it's Cleveland. They've been dysfunctional for a long time. I don't got a lot of faith in that pick either. It's real hard to pick NFL divisions before the season starts because NFL is a little different from the other leagues because in the NBA, look, every year we just about know, who's going to be, in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and we might even be able to call the champion or call the at least call the finals who's going to be in the finals. Right. But in the NFL, it's just so different. It's unpredictable. And it's hard to call this stuff in the NFL. It's hard to call players in the NFL. You have no idea what players are going to be coming out of the draft into the NFL. I thought Leonard Fournette would be an MVP running back by now. So we don't, I mean, honestly, we don't know. I didn't even think Leonard Fournette needed to go to college. I thought he could have came right out of high school and went in the league. So, I mean, it's just the unpredictable, just like we were just talking about. Pittsburgh look like they can win the Super Bowl every year, don't win it. The Cowboys, most talented roster every year, don't win it. The NFL is unpredictable. Everybody other than the Patriots the last 20 years have been unpredictable. I'm going to pick Cleveland. I like Baker Mayfield. I like his confidence. I like his attitude. I think he can lead a team to the playoffs. We'll see what happens then. But since we're just picking, like you said, the division winners right now, I'm going to go with Cleveland, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. All right. Baltimore got one of the most talented quarterbacks we didn't see in a while. Personally, I was one of those people who said he couldn't throw. I still think he got work to do in that area. He's just so dynamic with his feet. He used those 2 tight end sets, throw to those tight ends, and he got Mark Ingram in the back running that rock, Hollywood Brown on the outside. That offense, that's tough to deal with. And then on the defensive side, man, they got some dogs over there. They nasty. So, that's a tough pick to pick. And then you got Pittsburgh. You got the all-time, great quarterback on the last hurrah who still got some game. You got Juju on the outside. You got some dogs back there. You got James Conner, who's a decent running back who can give you the production that you need. They could do it by committee. On that defensive side, they got some dogs. So they got Minka Fitzpatrick over there probably winning Defensive Player of the Year this year. And you got Cleveland. Having said all what I said, I got Cleveland winning the division.
Yeah.
I think this is the year that they put it together. I got faith. I think Baker Mayfield ate a slice of humble pie last year. He got to put in that work, shut the fuck up, and go out there and perform. You got Odell. Odell needs to have a good year this year. No other way. He living off the mystique of that catch right now because it's been a couple years since we seen a prime Odell. I still think he can do it. The way he get in and out of his cuts, the way he get in and out of breaks, the way he run his routes. He got to step it up because the last great Odell we seen was in that playoff game. That's the last great year that he had when he went to Green Bay and he was dropping all them balls. That particular year, last year we seen a great Odell. The Juice, Jarvis Landry, he gonna give you some in that slot. He is a dog. And then you got Nick Chubb running out the backfield. I think they need to feed him the rock.
They also get Kareem Hunt this year,
They got
too.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt was good before his off-the-field issue. And they also signed that real good tight end from Atlanta, Austin Hooper.
Yeah. I think they need to run the rock, do a lot of play action pass, and kind of build off that way instead of airing it out. So I got Cleveland winning that division. I think this is probably one of the second toughest division in football. I got Pittsburgh coming in second in that division and Baltimore finishing third.
Wow. Man.
What we see.
So you don't think Baltimore even makes the playoffs?
I don't know. I mean, I got them finishing third. I had to really sit down and think about it. It's a tough division. I think the mark of a great quarterback, a great player rather, is when they have the tape on you and you do it continuously.
Yeah.
I don't think he throws the ball enough. I think they can key in on those running plays that he does. As dynamic as he is, Tennessee, hey, you got to beat us throwing the ball. We're gonna take these tight ends away and we're gonna run one-on-one coverage on the outside. Can you throw the ball? So
but the thing of the one thing about great players, coaches can do that in game plan and do that in the postseason. They don't do it as well in the regular season when they got 1 week to prepare for you.
Well, I'm saying
it's hard to do that.
When it comes to a running quarterback, you know what I mean? Like he's a running quarterback. He can throw, don't get me wrong, but you know how NFL defensive coordinators is. They geniuses. So the tape out on them. They got that playoff tape. Week to week, he going to have to deal with that where they're going to make him throw the ball. So, I mean, we'll have to see if he can take that next step. Just for this particular time right now, I'm just taking those other two teams ahead of him. I hope he can. He a league MVP. I hope he can take that next step. But I just think this is how it's going to play out this particular year. Not saying how his career going to turn out, but this particular year, I think that's how it's going to play out.
Hey, just kind of, do you guys think he is better or more talented than Michael Vick?
No.
I seen Michael Vick make niggas run into each other.
The thing
I don't either. And the only reason
I ain't never seen a football player.
I mean, I've argued this with a guy at work before.
I ain't never seen a football player make people run into each other before.
And
Mike Vick's arm was highly underrated.
Mike Vick had a good arm. Mike wasn't going on no game plan for it. Mike did one read, pull that bitch down, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll look at the second read.
Yeah. Mike see one read. If it ain't there, he gone.
He gone.
But Mike had a good arm, though. Mike had a better arm and was more accurate.
If Mike would have been playing his entire career like he did when he came out of prison, Mike would have.
He studied and he took the game.
Yeah.
And the offense was crafted. And see, that's the difference between him and Lamar Jackson. This particular offense and what they would do now, you got to think, Vic was the prototype. He was the first of his kind for real. And then everybody tried to mimic him. They didn't have that offense set up for him. It was, you go out there and be great. This offense is set up for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Specifically for him.
I can't say that he now talent-wise, I can't say that he's not as talented as Mike.
Oh, he's a talented guy now.
I can't say that talent-wise he's not as talented as Mike, but I don't think he's as good as Mike yet.
Okay.
I don't know, though. Lamar Jackson won MVP, man.
Yeah.
Michael Vick never came close
I just
to
argue with
MVP.
the guy. I think Mike Vick's arm was so underrated because of what he could do with his feet, and we never seen. Who was we talking about? Like when Mike Vick first come out, who was saying, man, he's got. I mean, who you couldn't compare Mike to nobody. Lamar Jackson, you could compare him to Mike Vick. And that's
did Michael Vick ever finish in the top 3 MVP votings? Like, I don't ever remember him being in the MVP conversation.
I have to look that up.
Lamar Jackson won MVP in his second season. Almost in a landslide. We might be taking a heart pick by just saying Mike Vick he can't touch Mike Vick because that was all error.
We have to sit down and think about that one.
We have to sit down and think about it. That's a tough one. That may take a whole pod to just talk about that one.
All right, but let's move on to the but before we move on, who did you have again, Shot?
I got Cleveland.
You got Cleveland. Oh, yeah, I had Cleveland, and you had Baltimore, didn't you, Kendall?
Yes, I took Baltimore.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the next division, the AFC South. You got the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Asswalls.
Again, extremely tough to pick. Have no idea how it's gonna turn out. Unpredictable. I'm gonna go with the Titans because
okay.
I'm gonna go with the Titans because I like when teams got a strong running game. If you can be consistent in the NFL when you got a good running game and a good offensive line. Yeah. You can be consistent. I used to call Derrick Henry overrated. I remember when he was in college, I was calling him overrated because first off, I'm an Auburn Tiger fan. Second off, I saw him as another Alabama running back putting up big numbers. All Alabama running backs put up big numbers, especially back then. All Alabama running backs put up big numbers. So I was like, is it the system or is it Derrick Henry? It's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry a beast. He had a beast season last year. They couldn't touch him. I think you can be consistent in the NFL when you got a good running game. So I'm going with the Tennessee Titans right now. Again, totally unpredictable. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to pick Tennessee right now.
All right, who you got, Kendall?
I'm the same way. Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown, to me, that's the one you need to watch for. A.J. Brown takes a step in being a good receiver for Ryan Tannehill. He's a good receiver. He's going to take a step this year. They do have Delaney Walker, but they have the king in the backfield, Derrick Henry. I mean, they don't want to – you don't want to tackle a man that is that big, that fast, that strong when you're wore down in the late games. And, I mean, we saw what he was able to do in the playoffs. And, I mean, he's put in work. And I think Jadeveon Clowney signs with the Titans.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much almost confirmed.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be a good – I like Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a good coach.
Mike Vrabel
he was able to, I mean, put a game plan together to shut down the MVP in Lamar Jackson and the greatest quarterback coach duo in our lifetime in Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And he was he was so close to beating the Chiefs. They were so close to beating the Chiefs.
Right.
So I just Indianapolis and the Jaguars. I just don't see them doing nothing. I don't know what's going on in Houston. They got a great quarterback. They've got some great pieces, but they just traded. They traded one of the best wide receivers in the game to Arizona for. Just didn't make sense. This is Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. This is their division.
Yeah, I also got the Tennessee Titans winning this division. Derrick Henry, running all-time great right now. But I think they got a comparable quarterback back there. A quarterback who's comfortable with handing it off and not worried about the numbers because he was getting his ass smacked around in Miami. So he get in this situation, I think it's the perfect situation for Ryan Tannehill.
I think it's the perfect spot for him too.
So if you got a quarterback who's comfortable, I think that goes a long, long way. And this team, they built for the postseason, specifically for the postseason. Yeah. Their defense is underrated.
Defense in a running game, that's old school football.
I got them winning the division. Now, Houston, I think Deshaun Watson, he got potential to be the best quarterback in the league. But when you take weapons away from the quarterback, that's going to hinder that quarterback. He always got – it seemed like he always, since he's been in the league, he had to compensate for that defense because that defense is fucking horrible. And you take a playmaker away from him like that, I think that set them back a whole lot. But he's still going to be great in certain pockets, but I don't think that they can win this division. Indianapolis, they got a fire-ass defense. Phillip Rivers too old, though. He turned the ball over too much. I just think this is last little hurrah, whatever, just to get him through the year.
Phil don't want to go home, Phil.
He got all them kids.
So Phil's got, I mean, me and Phil's in a race with how many kids you got at the house. So I don't blame the man for working, okay?
Yeah, so.
I mean, I'm coming off of a 3-week quarantine with everybody.
So I just don't. They supposed to be decent, but I don't believe them. They need more people. And like Jacksonville, they just ass. I don't even. We ain't got to talk about them.
Yeah.
They ass. So I got Tennessee winning the division, and I got the Texans who might be okay coming in second. Y'all. Oh, it's consensus. Tennessee consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the Colts coming in second, though.
All right. We got 2 more divisions. So we well into it. The next division we're going to talk about, let's try to go through this a little quick. AFC East, the Patriots, the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins. How y'all see this playing out?
I'm going with Cam and Bill Belichick. I know they ain't got no weapons. I don't know why I said we, because I hate the Patriots. But I love Cam, Auburn Tiger. I still think Bill Belichick is the best coach in the NFL. Been the best coach in the NFL for 2 decades. I'm not saying he's responsible for Tom Brady's Super Bowls, but he at least half responsible. So I'm gonna go with New England. Look, New England is void of star talent every year, and Bill Belichick been able to figure out a way. Now he had Tom Brady, and Cam is great, but Cam ain't Tom. And Cam might not even be Cam. We got to see how he looks during week 1. But I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick him because I always thought this was a trash division anyway.
Who you got, Kim?
That's a good pick. I'm going to say this before I get started on this. Cam Newton is the second behind Russell Wilson, second most underrated quarterback. He took that Carolina franchise to a Super Bowl, and they didn't hardly have nothing around him. Now, they had a great
Cam
defense.
Underrated?
I think he is.
Or is he rated exactly where he should be?
He don't have all the accolades, and he hadn't done everything that Russell Wilson's done. That's why I say he's not the most underrated, but I do think he's underrated. I don't think people give Cam enough credit for what he was able to do at Carolina. He didn't have people around him, and
you gotta, like I said, the mark of a great quarterback. And I'm not saying Cam ain't great. You gotta be consistent over a period of time. Just like I was alluding to when I was talking about Lamar Jackson, when defenses get that tape on you. Now, Cam didn't have the weapons that he needed to have. So as soon as
Cam got beat up. Cam was getting beat up. They were taking shots at Cam.
Again, the same question with Mike Tomlin. Is Cam great? Or do we want Cam to be great? Which one is it?
I don't want Cam to be great. I mean, I don't. I called him Scam Newton for years, Roll Tide. You know? I mean, that's just me. I don't want him to be great, but I think he's a good quarterback, and I don't think he gets enough credit. Having said all that, and they are going to have a good season, Cam's going to show out. Having said all that, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to win that division this year. I like everything that's going on in Buffalo. They've got some great pieces on defense. They've got a good wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. They got that Devin Singletary, very underrated running back. They picked up another good running back in Zach Moss coming out of Utah in the draft. I think isn't it Sean McDermott? I think I think it's how you say his name. As a coach, Bills Mafia, they are crazy. They are crazy. Bills Mafia is crazy. I just think Buffalo wins the division this year, and Cam and Bill come in second.
And I'm
gonna put Tua in the Dolphins at 3. They still need to get some stuff around him.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I also got Buffalo winning the division. I think Josh Allen, I think he's really, really talented. I think he take the next step. I think them getting a number 1 receiver to come in, I think that's huge. They defense nasty. I think that they finally win in division this year. And number 2, I actually have the New York Jets. I believe, I believe. And you say,
Adam Gase.
Sometimes you got to believe, man. You got to believe. And I believe in Sam Darnold. If he can stay healthy, I think he has it. I think he got intangibles. He got the talent.
Le'Veon Bell should have a bounce back year too.
And he needs to have a good year.
Quick interjection. Interruption. The Lakers slapping Houston around. I'm just.
What's the score?
I'm ecstatic. It's 36-20 in the first quarter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Great.
Okay. All right. Back to football.
But yeah, go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
But yeah, I got
Go Spurs.
The New York Jets. The Spurs are ass now. I don't want to get too old.
It's a new era.
It's a new
Spurs ain't invited.
But yeah, I got the Jets finishing second, the Patriots finishing third. I just don't think they got enough weapons. I mean, you take Tom, insert Cam, I get it. The Instagram videos, I love them. I'm actually rooting for Cam. I hate how they did it in Carolina. I like the motivational stuff that he's saying. He's already a team captain. But I just don't think they got, unless N'Keal Harry take the next step. I loved you. Y'all know how much I love Julian Edelman. But I just don't think they got enough compared to these other two teams. So in Miami, they're gonna be Miami. You know what I mean? I hope if Tua gets in there in time, we'll see how that pans out. So I got Buffalo winning that division. That's my I guess leap of faith pick. And what you guys had again? I forgot that quick.
I got the Patriots.
Buffalo.
I'm just taking them. I got faith in Bill Belichick, and I want Cam to have a great season. If Cam can have a great season, he's gonna win MVP.
Most definitely.
Like if they win the division, he's gonna win MVP.
He in a good situation to, I hate to say revive his career, but get back into that upper echelon. He carried his team to the playoffs. Oh yeah.
He gonna win MVP.
Hand him the MVP, just like y'all did Tom. I'm rooting for him. All right. The last division we gonna cover. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. I love Cam.
For real.
They go for Cam.
For real.
Shout out to Wale. Me and Kendall went to go see Wale in February. The last division we gonna talk about is Super Bowl champion, the AFC West. You got the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and you have the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you guys got winning this division?
This is the safest pick of all. I'm going with the Chiefs. They got Patty Mahomes and nobody else does. So
that's it. You don't give nobody no hope. No, nothing. I mean, like no hope for.
No, I'm taking the Chiefs. I mean, I think they're gonna be the team to beat in that division for years.
It's a race to who come in second in this division.
It is.
We're just keeping it real. You know what I mean?
It's a race to come in second. They got Patty Mahomes. They got Andy Reid. They got an all-star offense. I mean, it's set up for them to go on a run.
Everybody coming back healthy.
Yeah.
And everybody young.
Yeah.
Super duper young. That's dangerous. So I'm picking the Chiefs as well. What about you, Kim?
This an easy one. It's an easy one.
This is a layup. It's the Chiefs. Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs, Andy Reid, they're gonna dominate for a long time. That's just my opinion. They're gonna dominate for a long time.
That's the happiest I've ever been for a head coach in the NFL.
Oh yeah. I wanted Andy Reid to win one.
Well, I'm
a Cowboys fan, but I liked Andy Reid even when he was at the Eagles.
Me too. I
got a question for y'all.
I was real happy for Tony Dungy being black. I was real happy when he won the Super Bowl too. But Andy Reid, I was real happy.
So I'm not rooting for everybody that's black.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you guys. What do John Gruden got to do this year to justify that 10-year, 100 M's? What do
I mean,
What
you got to
do
win
they
a
have to-
division. He
He
needs
got
to
to
win a
win. He got to
division.
win.
They're paying him money. That the Las Vegas Raiders now, they've got a stadium. They've got to win.
100
You've got to
million
win.
M's.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't nobody's fault, but they the ones that be giving people them big contracts. I don't never blame people for not being able to live up to contracts. I don't blame people
But
for
no,
that. I
but you-
don't blame rookies. I don't blame players. I don't blame none of that. Ain't nobody told you to give that man all that money and he
Exactly.
ain't coached in 15 years. That's their fault. I would have took it. I'm gonna sign on the dotted line. I'm gonna try my best, but
realistically,
it's
I mean,
it's unpredictable. It's the NFL, man.
more than likely they not gonna win that division. But what do he really need to do this year? He need to be a wild card.
Oh yeah, he's got to come in
11
second.
wins. What he need to do?
He's got to come in second and get to the playoffs. He's got to get in on that wild card. They're not going to beat the Chiefs. He might be a great coach. He might be a better coach than Andy Reid.
Hold on,
he don't
wait.
have the horses that Andy Reid's working with.
I'm gonna borrow something that Shai said earlier twice. Is John Gruden a great coach, or do we want him to be a great coach because he caught lightning in the bottle with that Tampa Bay team?
Or did he set that Tampa Bay team? No. Tony Dungy set that team up.
Bam.
Yeah,
that's it.
That was Tony
Dungy.
He was at the Raiders. He was at the Raiders and
which he did a good job with the
hump.
Raiders. He got to the AFC Championship when that
because you had the tuck rule. You had the tuck rule that got him.
Yeah. But besides those 2 years, is he a great coach, or do we love him because of Monday Night Football and he looked like Chucky?
Yeah.
His personality. There you go. That's what it is. Everybody loves his personality. Everybody loves that crazy Chucky, personality of his. He's got a great personality. He's a flashy name. He's won a Super Bowl with arguably the greatest defensive tackle that's ever lived in Warren Sapp. Excuse me. I mean,
that boy Killer got the hiccups.
Yeah, I did. I got a little ahead of myself. My bad, guys. I don't think he was worth that money. I'm like Shad. They shouldn't. That was their fault for paying him. He's got a good agent, or he's good at talking.
Bruh, the Lakers smashing the Rockets. It's 42-21.
Jesus Christ.
All right, back to football. I love John Gruden on Monday Night Football. I want him to do very bad at the Raiders,
like Booger McFarland.
so he can go back to Monday Night Football. I think he's the new voice of the NFL, like Madden was.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like Booger McFarland?
No.
Booger McFarland. He like Chris Webber when it comes to commentating mute the TV. And I hate to say that because
don't do Chris Webber like that.
Chris bad.
The Chiefs win that division, and I'm taking the Denver Broncos to finish second.
Okay. Broncos finished second?
Yes. In that division.
Over Oakland?
Yes.
Is it a cup over there? What you got in that cup over there off camera?
Uh-huh.
I knew it was something in that cup. It had to be.
No,
you just said Jared Judy. See, that's the Alabama shit. Just because Jared Judy went over there.
No, I'm not going off. Yes, Jerry Judy plays a factor. They still got Courtland Sutton. They got Noah Fant. Courtland Sutton. Ever how you say his name. Whatever how you say his name. I don't know how to say his name.
Who is that?
You got Philip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon. I like Drew Lock.
I don't know these people.
I know you don't know them. You're not in football yet. You're not in football mode yet.
You're right.
I'm telling you. Hey, we can put a bet on this if you want. I'll buy. I mean, Denver is finishing second.
We could talk. We could talk about that off camera. All right, that's cool. All right, that wraps up the NFL talk this week. We're gonna be covering NFL. Probably back to the NBA next podcast. We'll see how everything unfolds. But before we get out of here,
But that's easy. We can talk about the bubble right quick. nobody beats LA in 7 games. Nobody's beating Heat in 7 games. It's going to be a Heat and Lakers showdown. Yes, I did jump ship. I jumped ship from the Toronto Raptors. It is now Jimmy Bucket and all those snipers down there in Miami that Juicy called to begin with. It's a Heat and Lakers finale is what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's a whole nother pile. We in there. But before we get out of here, I want to do what we've been doing with the first 2 podcasts, this being the 3rd episode. Give the people, a movie and maybe an album, one movie or maybe an album or both that you guys suggest before we get out of here. I already know where you're going with, Shai, what you open with probably.
Yeah, I'm suggesting Mulan. I think it was great. To piggyback on what I said at the beginning of the pod 8 hours ago. I think that Mulan is the best live action Disney movie because it's not a carbon copy of the original. And that's what I like. I don't like when they do remakes and make a carbon copy. I need to see you work a little bit. Give me a new story. Give me a creative story. The whole time I was watching Mulan, I was on the edge of my seat. It's got a lot of surprise faces in it, so check it out.
Who you got, Kendall?
Netflix series. Go check out Cobra Kai. If you like the Karate Kid, you're gonna love Cobra Kai. I'm into it right now. It looks good. But what I'm super excited for, first season was amazing. Second season is gonna be just as amazing. The Boys season 2 on Amazon Prime. That if you're into superheroes, you better go watch. If you haven't watched the first season, go watch it and then start watching the second season. You can't go wrong with either one of those, Cobra Kai or The Boys, either one.
I guess we think alike. I had Cobra Kai as well. I actually called Shad right after I watched the first couple episodes to kind of tell him. And to my surprise, I was scrolling down Instagram the other day and I seen Will Smith thanking his team because for somehow, some way, he's behind Cobra Kai and his team.
Oh, wow.
So he got something to do with the Cobra Kai. And if you think about it, they did Karate Kid.
They did Karate Kid.
Yeah.
So they probably had a relationship outstanding from that. So
he's having an entanglement with Cobra Kai. That ain't right. That ain't right.
That ain't wrong.
That ain't right. You know good and well Will Smith doing his thing. And we ain't all these people that call themselves making fun of the Fresh Prince. Listen, that's the Fresh Prince.
Exactly.
Will done had his share of entanglements.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
One being Margot
Absolutely.
Robbie. But yeah,
Margot Robbie, take the cake.
Take the cake.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give y'all an album before I get out of here. One of my favorite artists, Big Sean, he just dropped Detroit 2. Fire. So I suggest listen to that. Again, Cobra Kai, Detroit 2, Mulan. Listen to it, go watch it, and tell us what you think about it in the comments. Like, comment, share, Nova Trifecta. Any other thing you guys want to say?
Hey, speaking of Will Smith, his son is – I did not give Jaden Smith enough credit. I listened to the album that Juicy suggested last week. He's talented, very talented. Other than that, I do need to say I do love my family. Even though I was quarantined with them, I do love them. Shout out to Lady Beck and all of my knotheads running around.
R.I.P. to Juicy's sister, Nene.
Yeah.
Kendall's granddad. My Uncle Felix that passed about 2 months ago or going on 2 months ago. And prayers go out to everybody in bereavement for the loss of a loved one. 2020 has been a year. It's been a rough one. A lot of people have lost loved ones, friends, family members, and everything. So prayers going up for all the people in bereavement.
I agree. RIP, Nene, RIP, your grandpops, RIP, your uncle. It's been a tough year, loss. But we got to stay prayed up. We got to get through it because in the grand scheme of things, we just a blip while we here. We want to make sure we become the best versions of ourselves, leave a mark. And I believe that we all have purpose. And once that purpose is fulfilled, when God calls you home, you got to go. You got to go. So you just got to be the best version of yourself and just do the best while you can. Like I see with my sister, I see the mark that she left with all her kids, I see all of them inside of her. So of course you're gonna miss that person. You can't pick up the phone and call them, but they there. You can talk to them. You can feel them. So I want to say, you know, if y'all lost anybody this year, RIP to them. Stay prayed up, and we'll get through 2020.
Hey, Rashad, Juicy, I love you too.
Love y'all.
Love you too, bro. Love y'all, man.
Hey, man. Start telling your family, start telling your friends how much you love them.
Facts.
Yep.
Nova Trifecta, baby. We out.
We out.
Peace.